is what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one hand and I'm going to reach. So if I want to stretch, this is my left side. If I want to stretch my left upper trap and kind of up through the neck, I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to reach up and around to the opposite side of my head. I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to bring it to the small of my back. So it's kind of like so there, all right? And what that does is that kind of stabilizes this shoulder and keeps it right in place. And I'm going to just very gently lean using my hand, pull that ear to the shoulder, okay? And I'm going to breathe. Now, instead of pulling straight sideways, I'm going to rotate my head a little bit. And I apologize, but I have no other way to describe this other than I'm going to act like I'm sniffing my own armpit. So now I pull the back, grab the back corner of the head. I'm pulling down gently, all right? And then this hand I can still bring to the small of my back if I want. But I'm going to pull down on that angle like I'm trying to bring my nose down towards my armpit. I'm grabbing more of the back of the head or back corner of the head. And then same rules apply. Gently, very gently. I'm not cranking, but very gently. I'm going to try to lift my head back. 3, 2, 1, and then relax and see if you can go any farther. So I'm just trying to lift my head up and back into my own resistance. And again, that's just, you find a new range of motion, you activate that muscle slightly, and then you relax and see if you can't go a little farther. That's just the muscle's way of you're hitting the save button on that new range of motion. Try the other way. If you have weight, if you have any weight at home, I kept a couple goodies by me just in case. If you have weight, what I would recommend is holding weight in one arm or both arms. All right, it doesn't have to be a lot, but hold weight in one arm or both arms, because what that's going to do is as you hold the weight, it's going to kind of depress the shoulders down, and it's going to keep your shoulders from rising up and really cheating. It's going to force the neck to do the work. So what we want to do, if we don't have weight, then what I typically tell people is we're going to make fists. All right, we're going to squeeze fists. How much weight, Don? Donald says. So I would go with, for me, I'm about 200 pounds. I would go with 10 in each arm. If you're just going to do a single arm, you could maybe go up to like 20 or something like that. But just enough that it kind of drops that shoulder down and stabilizes that shoulder. If we don't have weight, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to physically make fists. I'm going to squeeze fists like I'm squeezing something, and I'm going to drive my shoulders down. Okay. So I'm going to be sitting here, but I want you to know what I'm doing. I'm making fists. I'm pressing my shoulders down to the floor. Then what I do, all right, and that could be 50% of your max effort with those squeezes, right? So what we want to do, we're going to press the shoulders down, make those fists, and then I'm imagining that I have a Sharpie pen off the top of my head, and I'm going to try to draw the biggest possible circle I can. All right, so it's slow and controlled, but I got my fists made, my shoulders are down, I'm going down, chin to chest. Then what I do is a slow circle. I'm keeping my shoulders down, I'm making those fists. I go slow circle to the side. When I go back, I'm starting to tilt back and look up towards the sky. And then I come all the way around to the other side. I'm ear to shoulder here. And then all the way forward, chin to chest. And then we're going back the opposite way. I still have my fists made. My shoulders are pressed down. I'm kind of depressing my shoulders. And now I'm going the other way, chin to chest, lean away, back. Eyes and nose go towards the sky. I'm trying to keep my shoulders square and those shoulders depressed. Right there, I feel quite a bit of tightness. So I might want to, if it hurts, I might want to stop and kind of back up and work around it a little bit. But this is just a slow and controlled movement. So we're just going to do a really simple movement called a chin tuck. And with a chin tuck, what we're doing is I'm imagining that I got a string attached to the back of my head, and I'm going to take that head and pull it straight back, okay? So I keep my shoulders square. I have, if this is my normal posture, which hopefully it's not, but if I'm here, all I'm trying to do is go straight back. I'm keeping my eyes and nose level, and if it's anything like me, I'm giving myself a double chin there. Keep your jaw relaxed. Very commonly, a lot of people want to really clench their jaw and get their whole body into it. Keep your jaw relaxed. pull straight back, breathe, hold 5 seconds, and then relax back to your normal posture. Okay? The first thing that I'm going to take you through, really simply, pull-aparts, all right? And how you do pull-aparts is very, very important. So pull-aparts should be elbows locked, and I got a band with some resistance. I'm starting about shoulder width here, and all I'm going to do is just pull the band straight across the chest, hold about 5 seconds, and then come back together, right? Pull the band apart, hold about 5 seconds, come back together, slow and controlled. It's not elbows bent and me kind of doing this sort of thing. That's a tricep workout. If I keep my elbows locked and I have the shoulder blades drive the movement and I focus on keeping my head totally still, that's an upper back, all right? That's an upper back and shoulder blade. You get about 5 straight across, then you can start going 5 diagonals, okay? And you can start going 5 diagonals the other way. Again, the point is to keep that head nice and stable. I don't just start cheating my head forward and do all this weird stuff with my neck because I'm stressing my shoulders. I keep that neck locked right in place, and I'm driving through my shoulder blades to pull that band apart. If you don't have a band and you still want to work on activating the upper back, setting the shoulders a little bit, fingers interlocked, all right? I'm going to try to pull my hands apart, but I'm not going to let anything move. As I pull my hands apart, my shoulders depress, all right? So I'm trying to pull my hands apart and bring my shoulders down and back. Pull the hands apart, shoulders down and back, breathe. Again, neck does not move, neck stays like a statue, relax. Pull the hands apart, shoulders down and back, breathe, relax. If I pull apart, depress my shoulders, hold about 5 seconds, make sure my body and my nervous system feel those muscles working, and then I let my neck fall chin to chest, and I really stretch those neck muscles, and I hold. I get about 5 to 10 of those. It feels amazing. I can also pull apart, and then I can go rotation, still pulling the hands apart or still trying to keep the hands apart but fighting my own resistance. I can go rotation each way. All right. And on your stomach, turn into an airplane. Work on lifting the hands and the arms off the ground and hovering. Work on lifting the arms and then coming up, lifting the arms, coming back down, lifting the arms back. I can actually take my hands, right? I can take my hands and I can kind of hook behind the base of my skull here. I try to get like the pads of my fingers or my palm. I try to kind of hook those under the base of the skull. And then what I try to do is I actually physically try to make myself taller. So I use my arms to pull my head up towards the sky. It's going to make me tuck my chin a little bit. And I breathe and hold about 5 seconds, and then I relax, right? And I let that come back. Isometrics are simple. Take one hand forehead, one hand back of the head. I'm going to try to press my head back, but I'm fighting with my neck muscles to not let myself move. And I'm trying to press the head forward. Now I'm fighting with the back neck muscles to not let it go. So I'm fighting into myself. I'm pressing into my own head. About 5 second hold, and I'm just alternating back and forth, right? And I'm using my own neck muscles to kind of work against that resistance. I'm going side to side. You do this at a stoplight or in the grocery store, and people will really give you some interesting looks. But if we're relieving neck tension and pain, I wouldn't think anything of it. 5 seconds, side to side, right? And then the one that's really, really nice, underrated one here, is the rotation. So if I take my head more to kind of my temple or the front of my forehead, and I press into myself, and Donald, even though I'm guessing you have more of a mechanical thing, this is also a lovely, lovely thing to try for those cricks, to where you actually get the rotators, the things that are not wanting to do their job, you get them to fire a little bit, but because the neck is not moving, it's not overly painful or threatening, and you work into your own resistance. To tuck my chin, lean to the right, close that side down, and then open it back up. Relax the neck. Tuck the chin, close that right side down, back. I want to take these 2 golf balls, and I want to line them up right at the base of the skull. So what you got to do is you got to find kind of the bottom back portion of the skull, drop down off that a little bit, and if you press hard enough, you'll start to feel those muscles creep up. That's where we want these guys, okay? So I'm going to land my back. I'm going to take those two golf balls and I'm going to place them up right in that suboccipital region. I can spread them out a little bit. I can move them closer together. But I want to be able to just let the weight of my head drop onto those golf balls. And what I can do is I can start to play around a little bit. I can tuck my chin. I can lift my head towards the ceiling and produce a little less force on the golf balls. I can actually tuck my chin and produce even more force on the golf balls. But I typically will let people hang out here for a minute or two and just see what happens. Okay, you might have to play around with the position a little bit. I'm going to use my sock here, and I'm going to imagine this is a towel. Right now, this is a towel. And what I'm going to do, it's a mini hand towel or bath towel. I'm going to roll that towel up. And the other thing you can do, and this is the self-traction strategy as well, you can take that towel roll and you can place it right under the base of the skull again. Okay, kind of right off the base of the skull and underneath. Now I have a little softer pressure through that area. Maybe that's a little bit better for me, and I still get that release, right? The weight of the head and the pressure on that softer towel, it gives me a little bit of that suboccipital release, but it's not as aggressive as the golf balls. Now, the other thing I definitely want you doing here, though, either for suboccipital release or the traction, the self-traction, I want you getting that towel roll, base of the skull, and then I want you working on chin tucks, all right? So now you're trying to tuck the chin, you're trying to pull the head straight back into the towel, and that creates this nice elongation up the back, this nice kind of distraction or decompression of the neck, and I'm working the muscles at the front of the neck. I'm going to take it a little step farther, tuck, and then slightly lift off the towel roll, and then reverse back down and relax. Tuck. Slightly lift off the towel roll, reverse back down.